Good evening from London, and it is indeed a bright spring evening here in London. It is almost like summer. Hello to all dear comrades, friends, and supporters from me, Dr. Dermot Hudson, the chairman of the British Group for the Study of the Juche idea, chairman of the Korean Friendship Association of the UK and an official delegate of KFA for the UK, and of course the owner of this very self-same channel, Songam 007, the militant voice of Songam and Juche here in the UK, defending people's career with no ifs or buts. And today is a very significant April day in what is a very significant month for people's career of April, because it was today, 13 years ago, that respected Marshal Kim Jong Un became the supreme leader of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea when he was elected to the highest posts of the Workers' Party of Korea, WPK, and the state of the DPRK. On the 11th of April 2012, respected Comrade Kim Jong Un was elected as first secretary of the WPK by the fourth conference of the party. On the 13th of April, the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK, the highest organ of people's power, elected Comrade Kim Jong Un as the first chairman of the then National Defence Commission of the DPRK, which is now the State Affairs Commission of the DPRK. A few months earlier, Comrade Kim Jong Un had been appointed as Supreme Commander of the Korean People's Army by the decision of the Political Bureau of the Central Committee of the Workers' Party of Korea. Thus, the supreme leadership of Comrade Kim Jong Un had begun. It was the beginning of a new era in people's career, which saw Juche satellites soaring high into the sky and new buildings rising from the bare earth. Of course, as I said, April in people's career is a significant month because on April 15th, it is the anniversary of the birth of its founder, the great leader, President Kim Il-sung, an event that is celebrated as the most auspicious national holiday, as well as the anniversary of the foundation of the Korean People's Revolutionary Army, the forerunner of today's Korean People's Army. So it was fitting that Comrade Kim Jong Un's supreme leadership should begin in April, which, of course, is in the spring, and spring is a time of renewal and new growth. I remember being in Kim Il Sung Square on the 15th of April 2012 for the Grand Military Parade for the anniversary of the birth of President Kim Il-sung. The weather was sunny. Our delegation had an excellent translator, who was a professor of British Studies at Kim Il-sung University and also a former soldier of the Korean People's Army. It was on that day that respected Comrade Kim Jong Un spoke publicly for the first time. I can vividly remember our translator accurately and quickly translating the speech for us. The speech was amazing, and it seemed so incredible that we were present at this world historic moment. Respected Comrade Kim Jong Un in the speech summed up the great changes that have been achieved under the guidance of the preceding leaders, President Kim Il-sung and Chairman Kim Jong Il. And he said, and I quote, "The geopolitical position of the country is the same as ever, but the weak country of yesterday, which was trodden underfoot as a theatre of wrangling among big powers to expand the sphere of their influence, has now been turned into a proud political and military power, and our people are demonstrating their dignity as an independent people that no one dares to provoke. These miraculous changes have taken place in the destiny of our nation are not just a fortuitous event which resulted from the lapse of time, but an inevitable outcome of history brought about by the great President Kim Il-sung and General Kim Jong Il." End of quotation. These words resonated with me. What aroused a lot of comments in the world media and impressed me greatly was the declaration of Comrade Kim Jong Un in his speech that, and I quote, "It is our party's resolute determination to let our people, who are the best in the world, our people who have overcome all obstacles and ordeals, to uphold the party faithfully, not to tighten their belts again, and enjoy the wealth and prosperity of socialism as much as they like." End of quotation. At the time, I thought to myself, here is a people's leader, a genuine leader who puts the people first, not like the capitalist politicians of the West who are continually trying to cut living standards. In the UK at the time, we were reeling from austerity. In fact, we still are reeling from austerity. But at the time, this austerity had been introduced by the Conservative Liberal Democrat coalition government. And shortly afterwards, the imposition of austerity, severe rioting took place across England in August 2011. I myself had grown up during the 1970s when living standards fell due to high inflation. Prices used to go up nearly every week. And I was a young adult during the 1980s, which was a second devil's decade, the first devil's decade being the 1930s. And during this decade, there was mass unemployment, and I was one of the unemployed. So, yeah, I was greatly impressed by the declaration of respected Marshal Kim Jong Un that people would not tighten their belts again. Comrade Kim Jong Un concluded his speech with the words, "Forward towards the final victory." Indeed, respected Comrade Kim Jong Un, since taking the reins as supreme leadership of the DPRK, has led the Korean people forward towards final victory. The DPRK, under the leadership of respected Marshal Kim Jong Un, successfully implemented the policy of building the nuclear force and economy in parallel, or Pyongyang, and crossed the nuclear finishing line to become a socialist nuclear power of Juche and an intercontinental ballistic missile power. In 2016, the DPRK tested its first H-bomb. There has been a big upsurge in prosperity and living standards are rising under the people-orientated leadership of respected Marshal Kim Jong Un. New streets in Pyongyang, such as Changjong Street, Mirai Scientist Street, Rumong Street, Swanga Street, Jeonbui Street, Gyeongju Dong and Hwasong Street have sprung up in the countryside. There's been a complete revamp More than 80,000 flats have been newly built in 1,500 rural villages in the past 3 years. New regional industry factories have been completed. In 2023 and 2024, bumper harvests were reaped on the socialist rural fields of Juche, Korea. These achievements are being made despite the intense sanctions of the US imperialists and the UN. They are the proud fruit of self-reliance, a policy that is pursued greatly by respected Comrade Kim Jong Un. All the above proves that under the leadership of respected Comrade Kim Jong Un, the Korean people will march on to final victory and advance towards the high peaks of socialism and communism. Long live respected Comrade Kim Jong Un. Long live the Workers' Party of Korea. Long live People's Korea. Thank you very much for being with me today, and thank you for your attention to this video. If you're not already a subscriber to this channel, Sungam 007, please hit the subscribe button and share content from the channel as much as you can and introduce new people to the channel. It's vital to support our work. We've got an online meeting coming up tomorrow, Saturday 12th of April. We've got a reading session online on the 17th of April. We also have a very active publishing program. I'm hoping to get a new book out very soon. You can find a link in the description of this video to our publishing program. And you can also support us by donating money to us. Again, details will be in the description. And I will be back with a live stream next Friday. So I wish everybody a very good evening. Goodbye and see you all again.